Hi, welcome to episode 179 of your favorite daily podcast, A Couple of Things, a podcast about things. Today, I'm going to be doing a sort of kind of mid-year review. So, we are only a few days away from the actual midpoint of the year. To everybody that was doing welcome to the second half of the year at the beginning of this month, I'm so sorry. Why were you doing that? Because the actual midpoint of the year is, I think, 1st or 2nd of July, which is in a couple of days. And today is the 28th of June. So let's get a bit of a head start on reviewing the year so far. I've talked a lot about my big goals for the year on this podcast already. And as it's that time of the year where you're doing like mid-year review, all those things, I was like, okay, let me take a moment, review some of the things. And this is live. Like I've not actually looked at it. I'm doing this live on the podcast. I mean, it's recorded when you listen to it, but I'm just looking at it now. All right. So even without looking at my journal, because I've said this so many times, one of my big goals for the year is to get to B2 level in Dutch. And that is actually going really well. I mapped out a learning schedule. I need to figure out whether it's schedule or schedule. I think one pronunciation is British and the other is American. But anyway, I mapped out my training schedule where I'm doing my classes. I have to do 5 sets of classes to get to B2. I have done 1. I've completed 1. I got my certificates in my email a couple of days back for A2. So officially, I'm at A2 level Dutch. I'm currently doing the first part of B1 classes. So they split the B1 and the B2 classes into 2. So that's why I have 4 more classes. I did A1 and A2 combined together first. And I've been doing that daily, which is way more hectic and stressful than I imagined it would be. I barely have time for anything else between work, the daily podcast, and the Dutch classes. I barely have time for anything else. And I cannot wait for it to be over because I feel like I'm hanging by a thread. But yeah, I'm almost done with it. And by the end of that, I'll be at halfway to B1. And by the end of the second set of B1 classes, then I'll be at B1. So if I follow the training schedule that I made, I will actually be at B2 by the end of the year like I planned. So wish me good success. Pray for me that I'll pass all my exams so I can continue advancing to the next stages and the next stage and the next stage so that I can finish B2 Dutch this year. So yeah, learning Dutch is actually going well. I'm very happy that I can recognize when I'm on the road, when I see signs, when I see things. I don't have to bring out my phone to use Google Translate to translate things. I understand the signs. When I hear announcements in the train, metro, wherever, I can actually follow what they're saying. I call customer support. I start in Dutch. I can go a long way into the conversation in Dutch before I need to switch, especially when they start talking about really technical things. But yeah, it's really going well. I'm actually proud of the progress that I have made so far. And sometimes it's hard to believe that, wow, I can actually speak and understand. Like when people are speaking to me, I understand what they're saying. Even when they speak fast, I can still pick up a lot of things. I may not know every single word that they're saying, but generally I can piece together the meaning of what they're trying to say. And there's something very thrilling about that. And I'm very encouraged to keep going, even though it's really getting tougher. But yeah, that is going swimmingly. Hi, it's me, reminding you to subscribe and also to send questions so that I have more things to talk about. The link to submit questions is in the show notes. Okay, let's get back into the episode. I don't know if I used swimmingly correctly, but that's what that came to my mind, and that's what you guys are going to get. Okay, so what is another thing that was on my goals for the year? So actually, when I started 2024 or towards the end of 2023, I knew that I wanted to give talks again this year. I wanted to, because you guys already know, I didn't do a lot for the past 2 years, like publicly facing things because moving to a new country and all of that. And so coming into 2024, I really wanted to give talks, write more, write again, all those kinds of things. And I set a goal to give a talk every quarter. That was my initial goal. But by March, I had given a talk every month. And I didn't plan to just happen. And so I decided to set a goal I changed the goal from at least one talk every quarter to at least one talk every month. And so far, that has happened. I've done, I think, 6 or 7. No, I've done more than six because there were some months where I had two. So I've done like 7 or 8 talks already this year. And I had one in June, very early in the beginning of this month. And it was at this virtual conference, and the feedback from it was really, really good. It was a revised and revamped version of the Be Visible talk that I've given so many times, but the feedback was so great, and my talk was on the list of the top 15 talks from the event, and they had a lot of talks. I think they had like over 30 talks for the event. So that was really nice. But yeah, so that is going swimmingly. I currently don't have anything planned for the rest of the year, which is so funny. And I'm like, maybe I should have stuck to my once a quarter goal, but we challenge ourselves and we see whether it works out or not. So far I've hit the goal of at least one talk every month. I have nothing planned for July, August, September, October, November, December, but let's see what happens with that. Then another goal that I had was to read at least one book every month or finish one book every month. I think I finished 4 books so far this year. Daily Dutch classes did not allow me breathe this June. So I didn't finish any book, but I'm halfway through one that I'm currently reading. So that book reading goal is not really going according to plan. Although I did say that my actual goal is 10 books this year, and then if I'm feeling really nice, 12, and then if I want to feel over the moon, 15. So maybe we're still on track for 10 this year. Also, learning Python was a thing. I've completed of the specialization I'm doing currently on Coursera, which is like the main thing I'm doing to learn Python. There are 5 courses. I have finished 2 and I'm halfway through 1. I had to pause on Python because, again, daily Dutch class is more intense than I anticipated, and I just had to put a hold on it. So when I finish with my daily Dutch classes, which will finish very soon, I will have time to pick up my Python course and hopefully be on track to complete the specialization. I want to actually complete the specialization by the end of Q3 so that I can do other stuff with learning Python for the rest of the end of the year. But that is going on track, I believe, once I settle out with Dutch classes. Another thing that I wanted to do was to spend more time with my friends to deepen the connections that I've already made in the Netherlands, especially in the past 2 years. And I think that has gone really, really well. I've spent a lot of one-on-one time with people this year, more than I have done in the past years. Because like I said, when I talked about this, I was really on a drive to make as many friends as possible to rebuild my community. And now that I have met a lot of people, like when I had my New Year party this year, there were over 50 people in my house, and I don't know how that happened. But so I'm on track with deepening my relationships. I actually put it in my goals every month to go and visit at least one friend in their home every month, and I've been doing that, and yeah, so that's going great. So there are other goals, but I think we can call it a wrap here. Those were the main things. The other things that were important, but I've kind of I've not been doing so great with them, is my physical fitness. I wanted to do 30 minutes of exercise every day, but that didn't work out. Although I am starting my gym membership in July, once my daily Dutch classes are over, because I don't have time for anything as of now. I know I've said this like 100 times already, but once I believe that when I was doing classes, I was pretty consistent. But when I stopped doing my classes, my consistency went down the drain. So I've realized that going to the gym classes, is the thing that I enjoy the most, and I'm going to resume that in July to get me back on track. I wanted to journal more. I did not do that. I wanted to drink 2 liters of water every day. I think I've been partially consistent with that. I stopped doing my habit tracker because it was very annoying. I need to find a better way to do that. But I stopped doing it. But I think for the most part, I've been finishing my water bottle. I got a 2 liter water bottle. I told you guys about that. So I've been finishing it. So mostly consistent with that. And then reading my Bible every day. I will say I've been doing like, I'm at like 98% consistency. There are some days where I don't. But for the most part, I have been doing that. And also praying every day. I've not been praying for as long and as much as I would like. But I am doing that. So those are the ones that I'm not doing so great at yet. And, while we're working on it. Oh, yeah, I also wanted to publish a resource every quarter. That didn't go according to plan. But I published a resource on making and managing friendships this quarter, which I really enjoyed. And there was also great feedback about it. There's one that is in the works that I should publish by the end of this month or early in July. Depending on when I have time to put finishing touches. And I have a lot of help for all these things that I'm doing, so that definitely helps. Yeah, so that's it. I hope this prompts you to go and review your goals for the year or the things you wanted to do and assess them, see if there's things you want to change, see how you're doing, and plan and prep for the next half of the year. And I wish all of us good success with everything that we want to do. Thank you for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.